I got a whole lot of material from our Trans-America Trail, our epic, once-in-a-lifetime bucket list Trans-America Trail trip last summer on the CB-500X that I'll get to eventually, make some longer format videos. But this next clip I want to share with you, my friend Scott, from the Three Steps Hideaway in LaSalle, Utah, between Moab, Utah and Telluride, Colorado, out there in the Wild West country, where he's created a off-the-grid bed and breakfast cabin situation specifically designed for travelers along the Trans-America Trail. That's the dirt track all the way across America on dirt roads. Check it out. Just like out of the movie Lonesome Dove. Oh yeah. Welcome to the Three Steps Hideaway, a really unique off-grid bed and breakfast located about 30 miles outside of Monticello, Utah, and about 60 miles from Moab, Utah. And for Butch Cassidy and his gang of outlaws, conveniently located across the Libsyn Valley about 70 miles away is Telluride, Colorado, for the occasional bank robbery. And they could come back here and hide out. Let's give a tour of this place here. I'll show you around a bit. The old ranch property was established here about 1890 and then was left relatively abandoned until the 2000s. An owner came in here to set up an equestrian facility, built many of the structures that you see here now, and then that went into foreclosure. And then Scott and Judy were able to pick it up around 2013 or so and open this up for business in 2014. So today you can rent these cabins or a teepee or camp out here at the Three Steps Hideaway, and given enough advance notice, you can get breakfast and dinner here as well. This is right on the Trans-America Trail. There's a big motorcycle shop there. You can go in there and change tires or whatever you need to do for maintenance. Because going to town involves over a 100-mile round trip, Scott wants to continue to improve his efficiency by adding a year-round greenhouse here using a geothermal heating and cooling system that he's developed here. Check this out. So he's got these large tubes going underground to 300 feet of pipe, manifolded about 8 feet deep. He'll place a couple of fans on top of these pipes and pump the warm or cool air, depending on the time of year. The temperature of the dirt underground is about a consistent 50 degrees. So the idea is to build a greenhouse that won't freeze during the winter and won't cook during the summer. And so by pumping this air through this ground-based system, he can maintain a fairly constant temperature inside of a greenhouse right here. Added to this, it will be a big water tank, geothermal sink right here, which takes water from the rainwater from the shed of from the roof of the shed here, filling up that tank. He also incorporates some of his gray water from the facility to keep this tank full of water, and that adds to the thermal mass along with the ground, the pipe being 8 feet underneath the ground, to give a constant 50 degrees or so temperature, 48, 50 degree temperature out of these tubes. The greenhouse structure will be a large shed roof design made of Lexan plastic, two panes thick. So the concept is to grow your own vegetables year round, because driving 100 miles just to get vegetables for a salad for two is not that efficient. Here's some other guests. Here's his solar farm, located conveniently out of the way so you don't see the solar panels from the ranch, which of course feeds a pack of batteries. And here is a secondary holding tank, the pressurized water tank. So he's got about a 200-foot well, but with the limitations of solar, he can only pump about 1.5 gallons per hour from 200 feet for 10 minutes per hour, basically 5 minutes every 30 minutes. And he fills a large water tank on top of the hill with that, and the head pressure from that large water tank, some 4,000 gallons, pressurizes this water tank, and this water pressure pressurizes the whole operation. You can also inflate that tank, if you will, with an air compressor to provide pressure in the event that you were to lose pressure. Here's some of the original structures from the Sylvie Ranch from the 1890s. Let's take a closer look. Inside of this original log structure is the 3 Steps Hideaway powerhouse, including your bank of batteries, and all your inverter and electronics, and distilled water to keep your batteries topped off, and a funnel to help with that process. Scott just keeps this place immaculately clean, serviced, and well maintained. Here's the original root cellar from the ranch, still in use today. Again, using the thermal mass from the ground. Most of the heating in the winter is wood-fired. Plenty of firewood around here, but there is some propane to cook with. There's going to be a big wood-fired kitchen, outdoor kitchen, added to the back of the greenhouse below. Here's another one of the original structures, which is now the 3 Steps workshop. Generators, chainsaws, everything you need to run a place like this. Here's another one of the original structures, used as a cabin today. Here's your big outdoor wood-fired barbecue. Where is it? That's a gas job. Scott and Julie live upstairs from the kitchen of the 3 Steps Hideaway. There's the bathhouse, complete with a wood-fired hot tub. You can rent Indian teepee if you like. They're all set up and ready to go. Got a nice clean wood floor and cots in here. And then vents right out the top there. Communal outdoor campfire area. The trading post and gym, as if you don't get enough exercise running a place like this. And here's the juniper cabin, where I like to stay every time I come through town. Just super clean, nice accommodations. A little wood stove. Last time I was here, I fired that up. The shepherd stove. And they've run composting toilets in here as well. One of the limitations of running composting toilets is you got to keep the temperature about 65 degrees for the compost to work. And if you're running a basically uninsulated cabin, or a cabin with little insulation, it gets below freezing when it's not used. The composting toilets are not that efficient. They don't work that well. But if you keep it at or above 65 degrees, they work great. So guests are asked now to just go ahead and use the restroom facilities just right there with regular running water and hot, on-demand hot water heater fired showers. And inside here is where all the moto magic happens. Inside the livery, look at that collection of tires for all you Transamerica Trail guys. And that's the whole concept behind this being a well-located spot along the Transamerica Trail with no services otherwise anywhere nearby. He's got his collection of adventure bikes. Scott's a big-time adventure rider himself. All his riding gear and a nice big double-barrel stove and a table here. Look at all, it's like a store in here.
Yeah.
Look at all that stuff. Anything you need to keep you on the trail. At the 3 Steps Hideaway Bike Shop. Funny thing about some adventure riders think that they need to strap a spare tire onto the back of their bike, but you don't, because even here, what can you do?
Well, yeah, if you phone ahead to Scott and say that you're planning on stopping by and staying overnight, you can either get stuff shipped here if there's something you want specifically, although he's got plenty of used and part used tires here. So if you're in a spot and you want to keep moving, and he's got brand new tires as well. So for in a lot of popular sizes. So you probably find that this is as good a place as any, because you've got through Colorado, your tires are probably pretty shot by now. So this is a great way to freshen up your bike before you head on and do the last 3 states of the TAT.
So because of the built-in efficiencies into the entire village, if you will, the electrical power use is about that equivalent of a large RV. Very small power usage. So the current situation has had an economic impact out here, as most B&Bs find, like this one, that it's the large events that allow you to make the most money. And he's had to cancel a couple of large events this year, and that has had an impact. But the 3 Steps Hideaway is still here, ready for your reservation, or just give them a call ahead of time and come on by. Speaking of moving on, Jenny, out west here, we got to get to work. We can't just sit around and gas on all day.
I've been gas for the last 2 hours, my friend.
Thanks so much, Scott, for the visit here at the 3 Steps Hideaway.
All right, great to have you guys. Appreciate you stopping in.
All right, see you here. Let's go rob some banks. Now all we need is an airstrip right down there on that straight section of driveway. I bet you would work. Better than the TAT route, this little connector?
Yeah, well, I would say.
Well, just look at it.
I mean, this big kind of reveal is, I would say, is better than anything between Ophir and Dove Creek on the official TAT route. That's not to take it away, it's nice, but you're kind of on mainly forestry and gravel roads again, and there is plenty of that as part of the TAT, whereas this is a sort of mix of fast sort of desert track and then a little bit rocky here, and just stunning views.